be good because we've gone to 11:45. Now, before you go, Matthew is going to make us aware of a story. It's a story that I've tried to read a little bit on, but I think that our listeners will be interested. Quickly, Matthew?
I was just going to say very quickly, I mean, it's a story about Nigeria, and it's a story about what's going on in Nigeria in relation to extrajudicial killings. Nigeria is a fantastic country, and it's putting itself forward as being a major force within Africa. At the same time, it's got things to clean up. And one of the major things that we've learned this week it needs to clean up is extrajudicial killing. Police going out there and really acting as a law unto themselves. And if you talk to Nigerian people over there and over here, it's a problem. It's a very serious problem, and there are hundreds of people dying every year at the hands of Nigerian police. So it's a fantastic story that really hasn't got picked up. I think the Nigerian community probably has picked it up, but others haven't, and it's an interesting story.
Yeah, we've asked...
Let me ask Matthew, where, like if I want to pick it up, where can I see, where has it been covered? Because it's not something...
Well, look, I've been trying today, so let me tell you what I've found.
Amnesty International did a report last week.
Amnesty International released a report on Wednesday, which I've just picked up on the website, okay, and also on BBC News I've got one headlined here: Nigeria police overwhelm morgue, and the BBC has established that at least 7 people were last seen alive in police custody, but the numbers are far greater than that, and we've made a call to Ayo Johnson, who's somebody who's been in the rum shop before and sells himself as an expert on African studies, and certainly he says he's aware of it. So a little after 12:30 we'll bring you more details of it, and thank you very much for bringing that to our attention. Ryder, who's a role model and a barrister, told us about a story. In the rum shop, the guests were asked to come up with the story of the day, the story of the week, and the stories they wished people were talking more about. And this is the story he picked for us. A Nigerian hospital has told the BBC it has been overwhelmed by the number of corpses being brought to them by police. The chief medical director at the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital says that staff are being forced to carry out mass burials. I also got a statement here, a piece here from Amnesty. And Amnesty International has exposed the shocking level of unlawful police killings in Nigeria in a new report released on the 9th of December. So we thought, well, hold on a minute, we haven't heard anything about that. Who better to tell us than Ayo Johnson, a specialist on African affairs. Good morning to you, Ayo.
Good morning, Eddie.
Thanks very much for taking our call at such late notice. Tell us what you know, then.
Well, it is rather shocking, but a matter of, it's actually a fact that in Nigeria, currently, the police seem to be taking the law into their own hands, ignoring the judicial system altogether, and literally killing people off as they seem fit. It's become common practice in certain places whereby if individuals make their way to the police station for certain crimes, there might be some element of torture involved, and in some cases individuals disappear altogether, and family and loved ones are unable to find their family members. So again, it's actually in keeping with the report that you've mentioned, and rightfully so, that Amnesty International has tried to expose what's been going on in Nigeria. But we've got to be mindful that the Nigerian government has accepted the issues, as you've rightly stated, and they've put in some measures to address that problem, and they've come up with this special white paper, and they're blaming it specifically on the fact that a lot of the military or the police officers are not well trained, they're poorly educated, and corruption seems to be an issue. So they're coming with a new package to pay them better, get some good officers on board, ensuring that the threat level in terms of educational practices are at a certain level when they come into the police force, and they have a better understanding of what human rights is all about, because this is a violation of human rights in any language, in any country.
Yeah, but Ayo, I'm reading this Amnesty International report here, and let me just pick out a bit of it for you. 15-year-old Emmanuel Egbo was killed by police in Enugu, I hope I pronounced that correctly, in September 2008. According to witnesses, he was playing with other children in front of his uncle's house when 3 police officers came up to them. One officer pulled out a gun and shot the boy, claiming he was an armed robber. He was unarmed, and in August 2009, his family discovered his body had disappeared from the mortuary. As of November 2009, the body was still missing.
It's appalling, completely appalling. Shouldn't be happening at all. It's to be honest with you, I'm surprised that the special rapporteur who visited Nigeria in 2007. Again, the special rapporteur is a special individual who is tasked by the United Nations to go into a specific country to assess its health. On a whole range of different criteria. And when they do go on the ground, ministries panic, ministers are literally up in arms. Their report last time around did find a lot of failings in relation to the police. But I must say, this what we're hearing now is a step in the wrong direction, and clearly there may be a need for them to go back again to assess it again, because what we're hearing is really, really bad.
Let me just read this final piece for you and get your reaction, Ayo. The Nigerian government says that they do not condone extrajudicial killings, but they're not doing enough to stop them. As I say, this comes from the Amnesty International report, and bring the police perpetrators to justice. Even on the rare occasions when a police officer is implicated in an unlawful killing are prosecuted, they are often released on bail or escape custody. Some are simply transferred to other states. Ending unlawful killings, enforced disappearances by the police will require serious legal reform. Is the will there, do you think?
Well, to be honest with you, this has been going on for some time. Clearly, and what you do find is that if you speak to people on the ground, what they will tell you is that things are slightly better now, which means it was far worse before. That doesn't say it's right anyway, and it should not be happening. I think the Nigerian government needs someone to actually push them, because clearly it's been going on for some time. They don't seem to have come up with the impetus to change the law, to put a lot of pressure on the police to conform to regulations and the judicial, and I think the special rapporteur may be the only means by which, because if they can actually write a report similar to the ones which has been done by Amnesty International, it will carry weight. The Nigerian government will have to act, and hopefully we may bring about a change in mindset, a change in culture, and very much a change in the police and how they go about policing the people. Because can you imagine how communities would feel when clearly they could be picked up, they could be arrested, and they could literally very, very much disappear? Yeah. So it's a worry all around.
It's a new story to us, and that's why we've asked you. And Ayo, I look forward to you coming on to the Rum Shop very soon. And thank you very much, sir.
Okay, all the best, mate.
Okay, look after yourself. Ayo Johnson, there, specialist in African affairs.